responsibility for how you want to feel, you cannot expect anyone else around you to do the same. Meaning we cannot blame our children for being children. We cannot blame our children for having big emotions like anger. Anger is not bad. But if we have the belief system that anger and resentment are bad, then other people have bad behavior, when really they're just being human. When we're expecting other people to be able to like pull up their bootstraps and get their shit together and motivate themselves, and yet we're sitting here going, I know I have a deeper potential. I know those desires are tapping at me, but I'm not willing to look at them because that scares the shit out of me. I'm not willing to create the space for myself to actually sit with my thoughts. I am not willing to do the emotionally uncomfortable work in order to create the freedom, because if I do, I might lose people. If I do, I might outshine people. If I do, how do I connect with people if all we've done is connect through our drama and disease and bitching and complaining? Yeah. Excuses is just fear. That's all it is. It's resistance. Okay. So let's do a little, I could talk forever and ever, but let's do a little activity. This is my favorite thing ever. So I want you to think about why you're here. You're listening to this for a reason. There's something inside of you that's trying to grab at you. Something that's knocking on the door saying, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. And that something could be, I'm not going to say negative or positive, but let's reframe it this way. It could be something that you don't want in your life, or it can be something that's trying to get your attention that you do want in your life. So you get to pick and choose right now which one you want to focus on. There's no right or wrong here. Do you want to focus on what is really trying to get your attention? Maybe you're really anxious. Maybe it is your excuses. Maybe it is depression. Maybe it is anxiety. Maybe it is fear. Or do you want to focus on that little voice inside of you that's like, pay attention to me. Not this, not this, not this. We need change. So you get to choose. It doesn't matter. So wherever, whatever, it truly doesn't matter. I'm not saying like where you're focusing your energy and attention. What I'm doing right now is we're paying attention to why that feeling is here. Why that energy, right? The emotion is in motion in your body. Why that emotion is an energy in motion in your body, and why that feeling is there. So whatever you want to label it as, go in. So eyes closed, bringing your energy and attention to that feeling, that emotion, whatever one you want to focus on. Just pick something. And if you don't know what to pick the thing that you typically don't want to experience, okay? That's typically the easiest go-to because we're with it most of the time. So I want you to, one, identify where it is in your body or your mind. Like, how do you know it's there? So for the left brain thinkers who have a very difficult time connecting to their body, this is where we're listening and tapping into the wisdom of our body. So just taking a few deep inhales and exhales. How do you know it's there? How do you know it's there? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to put on some music if you hear it. Someone who can hear the music, can you just write yes, please? I just want to make sure it works. Perfect. Eyes closed. Connect to that part of yourself that's so badly trying to get your attention. And you're going to ask it, why are you here? Deep inhale. Why are you here? Listen, what's the first response you receive? You have time. Don't run away. Come back. Now you're going to ask that thing, the desire, the feeling, the emotion, whatever you're focused on. What do you need to feel safe to leave my body? Or you were going to ask it, what do you need to grow bigger? If it's something that you want to be life enhancing, you want to grow the capacity for more of it, ask, what do you need from me to feel safe to grow? And if it's something that you truly want less of, then ask it what it needs from you to feel safe to leave your body. And when you've received the answer, I want you to write done in the chat. It doesn't matter if your eyes are open or closed. There's no right way to do this. It's only your way. Gently closing your eyes. Now, that thing that your body is craving from you, the more of or the less of, it gave you a breadcrumb. It told you exactly what it needed. Your body, your soul, told you exactly what it needed to be seen, to be heard, to feel safe. If your child said that to you, would you listen? Would you provide? would you provide what your child needs to your child?
Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let me down. Sunshine will always come around.
How can you bring more of that into your body right now? And what I mean by that is, if your body, whatever your body wants right now in this moment, rest, love, space, we're bringing it in right now. You can create it physically as well, but we're going to cultivate and create it right now. With your eyes closed, bringing your energy and attention back to that space that is trying to get your attention. We know what it wants, we know what it needs. Now we're going to bring it in. Is it a hug? Is it rest? What is it? My go-to is always to visualize a color. What is that feeling that your body craves? What color does it represent? Bring that color in right now, wrapping it around the energy that is either going to expand in your body or the energy that you are asking to leave. And creating space right now to do that.
Darling, darling, you can make it through the stormy weather. Darling, darling.
Within 60 seconds, you can completely change how you feel.
Darling, darling, you gotta keep your head up. Darling, darling, remember days will get much better. Darling, darling, you can make it through the stormy weather. Darling, darling, please don't ever give up. Darling, darling, you gotta keep your head up.
All right. Now I want you to bring, just gently opening your eyes and thanking your body for the wisdom and the guidance that it just gave you. And maybe later, this replay will be up for 24 hours. You can go back and listen and create more space and do it again and do it again and do it again. But here's what I want to tell you. What I'm teaching you is counterintuitive to how we've been raised as humans. So many people living outside of themselves, living for other people, other expectations of who we need to be. And this is why when you watch the media and you watch the news and all of a sudden there's this cultural, energetic conversation. And if you are a sensitive soul, if you are somebody who's empathetic and compassionate, which you all are because you are here, I'm telling you right now, you're just drinking that up and you're taking it on. Because somebody else's expectation of who you need to be, and you never stop and say, but this is what I want. And I always say, I encourage you to disappoint people. Because I know the way that you're doing it is doing it actually from a place of love. How many of you are the go-to for other people? How many of you are the people that others text and call and say, I have a 911 emergency? And you run. You run to support them. You run to give them what they need. when you're having a bad day, how many people run to you? And what happens is often we become angry and resentful, and this happens in our own home as well. And the beauty of boundaries is this is where we start to change the cultural conversation. It is never going to be appropriate for you to take rest. Never. Not today, not 50 years from now. It will never be appropriate for you to take rest. It will never be appropriate for you to take up more room, more space to speak your truth. It will always be counterintuitive. But when you see people out there and you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's so inspiring. She's so inspiring. Understanding on a daily basis, moment by moment, the courageous action that that person had to take to show up the way that they want to feel, to speak the truth they wanted to speak, not the truth that the world wanted them to speak. I hope it hurt to hear. I hope I'm making you uncomfortable, because I am not here to make people comfortable. That would be so opposite of what I'm trying to get you to do. If I'm here to make you comfortable, I'm pleasing you and discounting myself and dying to be good for other people. You will not be everybody's flavor. And there are ways that you can be loving and kind and compassionate and hold a boundary while still respecting yourself and other people. And it's a practice just like anything else. It's a practice. You don't eat one healthy meal and then everything has changed. You don't go for one walk and you're good to go. That's the annoying part. Evolution of the soul, of your body, of your mind is consistency. That is the annoying part. But you don't have to hustle. You don't have to burn out. And I'll tell you a story. And I talk about this in my book, but I remember when I became a mother and that one of the first cultural beliefs or stories that I heard was, Heather, now you need to buy the cheap shampoo. And I could not fathom why, because I liked, investing in my hair. I was young and why not? I had nothing else to spend money on. But I couldn't fathom why spending an additional, let's say, I don't even remember what shampoo I bought, but let's say it was $10. Why spending an additional $10 on something that was life enhancing for me, that actually made me feel good, was taking away from my child. I couldn't fathom that. Because intellectually, I had the critical thinking skills to be like, that doesn't make sense. It's actually, and then it's going to cost me $100+ in therapy to